Everybody, welcome back to Disturbing Creations Auto. It's Damien, your host, and today I got a little bit of a problem, but I think I found a solution. And if everything goes good, this is going to be able to help you guys out as well.
A custom wheel job. We're putting Ford wheels on a Porsche because we just have 4 or 5 sets of these, so I'm not going to throw them out because I used to have all these Mustangs. And the rims for the Porsche are so expensive, so they're not even good looking. Like, I don't even like that. You know, it's pitted on the inside and in there. The chrome looks okay on the outside, but still. And this is a steel rim, very bulky steel. That's why it has chrome on it. This is an aluminum rim, same size, but it's way smaller and thinner. This is lighter, even with the wheel spacer aluminum, and this aluminum is lighter than just this original steel rim.
So you all know that I have a couple of Porsches and I'm trying to do some modifications, make one a race car, make one a show car, and just keep one regular. But the Porsche parts are just so expensive, and I was gonna get rims, and they want like $3,000-$4,000 for rims, but I got the cars for $3,000-$4,000. I'm not gonna pay for rims when I got a whole car, you know? Huh? So anyway, what I did was I went and I bought those spacer rings. I'm gonna show you what those are in the video. And it changes the Porsche where the lug nuts go into Mustang ones, or Ford in general. Now, when I was growing up, I had 3 race car Mustangs, the same as now I'm doing with the Porsche. So I've got tons and tons of Mustang rims, all different sizes, widths, everything to put on these cars. So what am I gonna do? We're gonna throw some Mustang rims on this car, but in one set, 2 sets. I have 2 sets of the same 5-star 17s. We ran into a little problem, and I'm going to show you right now that you can do this with any rim. Just take your time, be smart about it. Whatever you cut on one side, you have to cut all the way around, and then please rebalance the rim and put weights on it like I'm telling you to, so that you know how to do this. This is going to save you thousands of dollars. If you have an extra set of rims for one kind of car, BMW, and then you buy a Chevy, you can put your BMW rims on the Corvette if they're aftermarket. You know, like, you don't want to put OEM rims on. That's kind of dumb. But let's say you spend $3,000 for BMW rims, and now you don't have that car anymore. You want to put them on your Corvette. We just get conversion rings or spacers, and they'll change the bolt pattern. But I've talked enough, so let's go see how I'm going to get this done. And by saving all this $3,000, we're putting a twin turbo in our race car.
You a problem you could have with wheel spacers. So we're using this Porsche right here, this Boxster, as an example, and this is a standard OEM rim on here, and you see how it fits all nice and snug. Everything looks great, you know, the wheel fits, the lug nuts fit, the bolt pattern, everything. But I have a crappy set on this car, this Porsche. So this Porsche is stock, and this Porsche is now aftermarket. So I have a lot of Ford rims, so I got a spacer kit to put my Ford rims on. As you can see down in here, there's a spacer ring, and these are not the lug nuts that go on normally. These are spacer lug nuts. So you can see the spacer down in there as well. See the space? Now I'm coming with a problem here. As you can see, I'm gonna get down in there a little bit more. So you see that the lug nut here is sticking out farther than the spacer. It's not allowing my rim to make a complete seat. So you see how much the spacer puts the tire out? And I'm not looking at a funny angle, you know? So you can see from the back of the car what the rim looks like, what the tire looks like. It'll be big, it's huge. I mean, it's a 255, 17 already, so it's pretty big for the Mustang. But we're putting them on the Porsche race car now because I am going to either paint or powder coat the rims that are on here right now. So what we need to do is, I have this one off so I can show you. So here we are back with the rim. Now this is the spacer. As you can see, it goes from 130 to 4.5, which is a Mustang Ford rim. And the 5 means 5 lug nuts by 130 millimeters apart. So these ones are 130 millimeters apart. And this is 4.5, which is inches, because America uses a standard system and everywhere else uses the metric system. So you see, I can't even get these lugs
all the way in. That's the most I can get, and that is very unsafe. We are not going to drive around like that. You see the space in the wheel spacer here? You see the gap? See where the lug nut right there? My finger's on it. See the lug nut right there? It will not allow that gap to go away. Here you can see another where the gap is. See the lug nut?
Okay, so I got one lug nut and it doesn't look safe, and it's really small, short head, and so I got out the grinder here, and I noticed that, so these resets are where the bolts are supposed to be, but these resets match these holes. They don't match the 1x30, so if it's 1x30, it's out here a little more. This hole, it's not this hole, it's now this hole to like here.
All right, stop right there. I know what you guys are gonna say already. This dude's crazy, he doesn't know what he's doing, he's cutting the rim. No, man, I'm telling you, I do this all the time. I measured it out, I marked it off, so I'm not cutting like one really big, one really small, and then I have a tire machine and balancer. So I'm just gonna put it on the balancer and then put some sticky weights on, and everything's gonna be okay. I've done this multiple times. I wouldn't be shown how to do this if I didn't know. So let's get right into it.
So that means that they're not going in these resets. The bolts are hitting this. So if it went in the reset like this, see how it goes down to where I have it marked? That's where I was supposed to cut it. That's what's sticking out. But see, it's hitting this piece. So you see how much of a difference that gap is? That's almost 1/4 of an inch right here. So I took the grinder and I ground it down like this. Now, this will fit flat right here. I do advise after you do this grinding on your rim, do as least as possible. So this was my first one. I was trying to figure out how to get the blade down in there. And then as I went, I got a little smaller. So I gotta get this one, last one out to fit. But what I did was I just took the grinder here and I went in and I ground it out. So I'm gonna try to set up the camera where you guys can see me actually frying one out. I couldn't find anything to hold the camera, so I'm just gonna do it one-handed and show you guys, so. This wall is now going to be flat, and the lug nuts are going to be able to sit flush. Again, this is going to change the balance of your rim, so you have to go get rebalanced. Take these weights off and go get rebalanced after you do this modification. You can do this. This modification is easier to do on this rim than it is to do the lug nuts. I don't advise doing the lug nut thing that I was doing unless you absolutely have to, but I'm not telling you to do that. I just did that as an experiment. But I would do these rims like this. Because if you powder coat the rim, you put weight on the rim. If you sand the outside of the rim down, like you see how there's a little bit of road rash here on the rim. If I'm gonna sand that down and make it flat again, well, it's gonna be a little tiny bit smaller than, say, this side. It looks really nice. See, this side didn't get rashed. So it would set the balance off of the rim just a little bit. It's not a lot. It's not like you're taking one whole arm out and you're running on 4. You know, so I'm gonna get finished and I'm gonna mount one and I'm gonna show you what it looks like now compared to what it looked like earlier.
All right, so let's just get it out in the open and straight. So I made this video for my old channel, and now I'm taking all my old videos and remastering them. But you do not have to get the wheel spacer. It's not the wheel spacer's fault. It's actually I have 2 sets of these rims, and one set was already cut out all the way, and this set wasn't. So the rim was cast wrong. Those holes were supposed to be open all the way, and they weren't. So I actually opened them exactly as the other OEM set was. Those are 2 sets of OEM 5 stars off of a GT Mustang SN95. So I just want to keep giving out the best information that I can all the time. It's the rims, not the wheel spacers.
After grinding, you see it went in just a little bit. I know it's only 1/4 of an inch, but it makes a huge difference. And the wheel doesn't have a space anymore. So see where it's butted up together now? See where it's metal on metal? That's aluminum to aluminum. Remember before? It had like a... Here, let me show you. There it is. I had to turn the flash on. So see where I cut it down? Cut it in.
Probably didn't even have to cut that much, but you see where it was hitting right there? Okay, so now I know for the next one, I only have to hit that little bit in the middle, not as much on the next grind. You see where it hits now? Okay, so now we're gonna make smaller grinds in the middle just on that one piece. Now the wheel fits. So all the lug nuts are on. Remember, the lug nuts wouldn't go on, but now they're flush. They're in a good spot. I really like it. So if you get wheel spacers and you have to modify them, I would either get a new wheel spacer and send them back to a different company. If you run into the same thing with multiple wheel spacers, you're gonna have to either modify some lug nuts, get some modified lug nuts, or buy some other brand like aftermarket 4-wheel spacers, or you're gonna have to do like I did and cut the rim and make your own. So the next one I cut, I'm gonna cut a little smaller so I don't have to waste as much time, and it's gonna be right on. So if you're trying to lose weight, I would go with aluminum rims that actually fit the Porsche. If you can't do that, then go with an aftermarket or an OEM set of another car that are lightweight aluminum with aluminum spacer. And that's also wheel reduction, or weight reduction through the wheels. Same size rim. They're both 17s. But you're going to get better gas mileage with lighter weight rims, and you're going to take off better. Button if you like this, comment down below if you want to see more custom made stuff. I got a whole day's of work getting the rest of these ones on. I got to get all 4 of these tires on this Boxster today. Here we are, finished product. I still got it up in the air, but you can see how wide they are. It's pretty crazy, right? I have to make some wheel flares now for the spacers, but that's it. So how do they look? I think they look pretty cool. Gotta stick way out. The only bad thing is they rub a little bit. I'm gonna have to go a smaller size tire in front. But you see the spacer? The spacer is 2-inch. You don't have to go this far out. You know, you can get a 1-inch. You can get 5 millimeters. I just went heavy. So, hey, thanks for coming to Disturbing Creations. Now you learned how to put spacers on and how to grind your rims, put your rims on, make, you know, customizations. So I cut that one lug nut, but I didn't like cutting the lug nut. I thought that that was dangerous, so I went and I did the inside of the rim. So we're customizing, we're fabricating, whatever we got to do. I'm gonna be TIG welding. If there's cracks in the rim or something, we can fix that now. So thanks for coming to Disturbing Creations. We love you all. God bless. We're out.